Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of NIDO Russia Talks. And today we have someone very, very important in our midst, as you could have seen from the flyers already, who will be answering all your questions. And it's none other than Prince Eerik A Odigie, who will be answering questions pertaining to our election 2023, presidential election and other elections in 2023. He's from the APC camp. We also have interviews from all camps, and today we'll be having from the APC camp tell us all we need to hear about both the election and preparation. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section. We are reading all your comments, and we will relay them to him. And of course, he'll be more than excited to answer all your questions. So without further ado, I also have with me another panelist, Barrister Tracy, Evangelist David, and Massive Mark Milan from Massive Mark Godwin from Milan. But first of all, I'll bring our invited guest, Prince Eerik A Odigie. Prince, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Good evening, Mr. Ibe. Dr. Ibe, rather. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm very good. I hope you're excited and ready to answer all the questions that will be posed and thrown at you, literally. Yes.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Yes, we have everyone from all the camps, all the political spectrum represented here, and they want to, hear more on what is in stake, what's at stake for them in 2023. So I also like to welcome our fellow panelists, Massive Mark from Milan, all the way from the heart of Europe, Milan.
I greet you, Dr. Godwin Ibe. I greet you, my great Prince Eerik. Thank you.
I must say, I love your flag. You're already looking Nigerian.
I have to put that behind me.
Okay. So let's start with the first question. The first question I have for you, Prince, today is the success of other parties is often tied to the success of the presidential candidate or the principal of your party. Let's just start. What are the key selling points of your presidential candidates, and why should Nigeria, be looking forward to voting them?
All right. Good evening, my fellow panelists and Nigeria in diaspora. First, let me appreciate NIDO Russia for this very, very well-timed and, how do I put it this time around, in our own pidgin, better program. I've always appreciate what you guys are doing with NIDO, and this is the reason that, brought me in. Without much ado, let me just go straight to your question. I don't know if you are with me. Can I continue, Dr. Ibe?
Yes, sure. We are here.
All right. So, you see, they say a good market tells itself. And that's just as simple as A, B, and C. A good market sells itself. I wasn't told to vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I was compelled to buy my heart simply because of his personality, his achievement, the person that he is. Let me explain something to you, sir, and fellow Nigerians. Dr. Ahmed Bola Tinubu is the only presidential candidate in this contest who is a Muslim and a Christian at the same time. How? He is a Muslim himself. His wife is a pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God in a very respectable parish in Lagos. That's one. Number two, Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not force his wife like our other presidential candidate that compared their wives 1, 2, 3 to become Muslims, regardless of the fact that they are men of various wives. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a man of one man, one wife. We have never heard him divorce his wife or had any children outside, even up till now. Nobody has been able to bring one bastard child on Tinubu. That is a man of integrity. Now, come to think of it, he has, I think he has 4 children. Amongst the 4 children, only one is a Muslim. As a matter of fact, I was told from a very reliable source that he had to beg his wife to say, please, I know mothers are the owner of the home. Just for me not to be, seen like a weakling in the house, just allow this last born to be a Muslim. That's how the last born is a Muslim today. However, the boy still goes to church with his mother.
Yeah.
And the man did not bother to say, why would you have to follow your father, your mother to church? Now, that is aside. Let us talk about the people that works for him. Bola Ahmed Tinubu surround himself with Christians. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's PA, Deji, is 32 years old. 32 years old. Let's not even talk about every other people around him. Now let's go back to his pet. Let's go back to his past. Look, let me tell you something, sir. Forget about what people are selling and the propaganda that is going about for our fellow candidates in the other party. That people are just jumping else over his, becoming bullies on social media, becoming disrespectful. They are already showing what they will become. God forbid they take the aim of affair of this country. Now let me explain something. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the only candidate who has a track record as telling can be, as Krista can be, as pure can be. His track records are verifiable as a seasoned administrator. His track records are as clean as the water in Babbage. His track records are as pure as anybody can go. He is one governor who, after leaving office, does not have to bribe an EFCC governor or go to meet the EFCC chairman to say, please hide my file. No track record of fraud, no track record of wastage of public funds, no track record of misuse of public funds. Now let's go together. People are asking me this question. Should they say all those people who are becoming the Igbo party, because now they have turned that party to become an Igbo man party? Bola Tinubu is not the president for Yorubas. Bola Tinubu is not the president for Igbos. Bola Tinubu is not the president for the Hausas. Bola Ahmed Tinubu Jagaban, he is the president of Nigerians. Now let me tell you, sir, during the time of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the governor of Lagos State, only him has been able to break this feat to have 3 non-indigenous cabinet members in the executive council of the hallowed house of Ikeja. Only him. He had the Hausa, he had the Igbo, he had the other tribe. I can't remember now. Let me not say, I miss it now. Then these boys will turn it on me. Now you see what I'm saying? Now people know, the Igbos know that they have never had it so good during the time of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We are talking about the vice president and how wonderful he is, how credible he is as a seasoned administrator. Who trained him? Who mentored him? Who gave him the opportunity? Who made him known? Who brought him out for people to see him and say, this man is good? We are talking about Fashola, and people are going head over heels to say Fashola is the best governor of Lagos State. People are still talking of Ambode, that they missed Ambode as a good governor in Lagos State. My dear brother, those guys were brought up by Ahmed Tinubu. Let's talk about Fowler. Let's even talk about Fowler, Tunde Babatunde Fowler, the former chief of Federal Inland Revenue. This is the first time in Nigeria that people know that they can pay tax from a gift given to you. The first time that Nigerian musicians pay tax from their music career to the Nigerian government. It was during Fowler period. Nobody knew that you can become a Michael Jackson and even pay tax in Nigeria. They don't pay taxes. All these Nollywood stars you are seeing parading themselves everywhere, calling President Buhari all kinds of names, calling Jagaban all kinds of names. Ask them, are they saints? Do they pay their taxes? When was the last time they paid their tax? When was the last time any of them has ever thought of what it is for them to pay taxes and what is the use of the taxes? But when they see a bad road, they are quick to complain. But when the last time they called them to pay tax, they went all over his shouting foul. You people asking me to pay tax, what did you do for me? It's a shame that the same people who should be a perfect example to the people are even the reapers of the people. Now, those are the reasons that gave me the audacity. There is no day that passes that I do not post Bola Ahmed Tinubu on my status. So many people came for me because these boys from the other party, which I will not glorify by mentioning their name, they are bullies on social media. They have no respect for people's opinion. They have no respect for people's wishes. Now I have lost friends. It has even revealed to me who they are before. They are not friends. They were frenemies. Because if I'm your friend, you should respect my choices. We cannot be friends and be in the same political party. We cannot be friends and agree on the same ideals. We cannot be friends and agree on the kind of woman that suits me and the kind of woman that suits you, or the kind of food that you like and the kind of food I shouldn't like. Are you going to dictate to me? So if I choose to follow Jagaban, does it mean that you are now the saint? You, of all people who I know your track record, you are now a saint because I choose to go the other way? It has really revealed to me that this man that they are all following with blindness is not uniting Nigeria. In fact, there was a place where he said, and I quote, that the Christians should wake up and take their country. Christians, their country, meaning that, get my cap, my CAC, my APC cap. All right. Now you are telling me that people in Nigeria who are Muslims are not Nigerians. People who are practicing my father's religion, my forefathers' religion, African traditional religion. I am Odigie. Where I came from is Idun-Obo, the land of native doctors. So you are telling me that if my brothers who still continue to practice my great-grandfather's religion, they are not part of Nigeria. And so you are calling Nigerians to come and take their country because they are Christians. So if Christians are majority in Nigeria, does it therefore replete on the votes? If we want to go by this, how did Bola Ahmed Tinubu become president? How did what they call Obasanjo become president in the first place? How did all our vice presidents in the military regime, how did they even become vice presidents in the first place? When they were Christians, nobody killed them. As we speak, the biggest business owners in Kano are Igbos. They dare not leave that place. They cannot. People are asking me, can the candidate from the other party, who is from the east, can he relocate? Can he relocate from the east to, say he lives in Lagos? Can he relocate from Lagos to Anambra, where he came from? Can those boys who are shouting like the P-Square fame, who are making noise as if they are Igbo parties, like those other people in the Nollywood, can they relocate from Lagos to Anambra State? Answer me these questions. The man who made Lagos what it is today and put his life on it. People are even making noise and saying that the man has bad health. The man has this, the man has that.
You made some good points, but sorry to cut you short. You made some good points, but we have a lot more questions to ask you, and I believe with time you would throw some more lights on why your candidate or principal should be voted by Nigerians. But I'd like to ask our other panelists, Massive Mark, to please throw in one question. Something that bothers Nigerians and what Nigerians would like to hear. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Dr. Godwin. Obviously, Honorable Prince came prepared, and the viewership is listening to him loud and clear. With the questions here, I think he will also put some good answers to it. He says 133 million poor Nigerians were recorded by the NBS, and that exceeds the World Bank projection for Nigeria in 2022. How do APC candidates in the 2023 election plan to tackle this poverty situation in Nigeria? Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. We all know that if you have been following Jagaban, you know the kind of campaign that we undertook was systemic. What we intend doing on our campaign is selling our manifesto one by one, state by state, as it reflects on the state. Now, Jagaban was in the northern states recently, and in Kebbi, to be precise, and he said, and I quote, "I will make sure Nigeria is an African agricultural hub in the world," because as a matter of fact, that's the end of quote now. As a matter of fact, I can tell you, if Nigeria puts its ass together, let me tell you, sir, for some time now, our president, Muhammad Buhari, has banned the importation of foreign rice. I'm sure you are aware.
Yes.
Of course.
Good. Now, as we speak, Nigeria is not hungry over rice. There is rice. And if you go to the market now, you would rather buy a Nigerian rice than buy a foreign rice, I tell you. When you cook the two, one thing you will see for sure is the freshness of the Nigerian rice over the dryness and unwanted smell and taste of the foreign rice. Now our eyes are open. Do you know that Nigerians now prefer to eat Nigerian rice, even Ukpebor rice, that they used to say that there was sand, there was stone those days, Abakaleke rice, Ukpebor rice? Bro, that is now the most, if you eat it or you eat Ofada rice, you must be a billionaire. Because now it's now for the rich. Nigerians have now discovered that it's far better than those ones. Now see, let me explain. My dear brothers, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has fantastic, brilliant, if you sit down to read our manifesto, it will amaze you the ideas that we have. And not just that, there was something he did in Chatham House that people were laughing at. But you see, an old man is wise, but the child will laugh at his wisdom. Look, what that man displayed, what Bola Ahmed Tinubu displayed at Chatham House is a sign of what his leadership would be. Hausa man, answer this my question. Bugunu man, answer this my question. Esa boy, answer this my question. Afema man, answer this question. Now, at the end of it all, you could see the collective Nigerians who are hungry for change, who are behind him. My brother, they say, show me your friend, I will tell you who you are. That is a man who is already showing Nigerians how he's going to sell his country. Jagaban is not a man that lives all by himself. It's a man that has superstars surrounding him like a flock. In fact, somebody was even asking me some time ago that this man is old, he's about 80-something. I said, let him be 100. Joe Biden, how old is he? At some point, Joe Biden even forget his speech. But yesterday, I took my time to look at the polls. Joe Biden has broken records that all presidents of America has never been broken before. Almost 10 records that has been broken by Joe Biden. The other day, I was looking at the president of Cameroon. As old as he is, no, not Cameroon, sorry, Tanzania. When some countries were coming to say they want to take their gold, and he refused. I said, no, how can you be collecting royalty over something that belongs to you? You should collect money for sale and the royalty together, combined. Now, what I'm saying is this, as a very simple and straight answer to you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the superstar cabinet, as we speak, people are already angry because The cabinet has been shared already. This is not when people will get into office and then they will be looking for the minister's list. Ahmed Tinubu is hungry to rule this country with fire and with speed, so that we can get to our glory days. Nigeria, the world is waiting. Africa is waiting for Nigeria to awake. And the only man that is right for this job at this very time is somebody with wisdom, somebody with experience, somebody whose age is on his side, somebody who knows the ways around. Can you see the flock of men, timber and caliber, who are around Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Have you seen the way kings almost stand up from their thrones to receive him? Have you heard the statement they speak when they receive him in their palaces? No, see, just look at his campaign and look at the people around him. It is not about money, my brother. Money cannot buy you goodwill. It cannot buy you goodwill. No. Atiku is even richer than Tinubu, if you have to put it that way. Atiku is richer than Tinubu. So please, let us put these things together. Let us stop being sentimental or looking at, are we going to kill our fathers because they are old and say, you cannot advise me? If I need advice of a certain level, I know I need an elderly man to give me the advice. As a matter of fact, people who knows me know that everybody who walk around me are older than me. My driver is older than me. My general manager is older than me. In fact, I have two drivers. They are both older than me. My friends, all my friends, they are older than me. All of them. All of them. So how do you think I can fail? In the multitude of wisdom, there is what? Safety. Safety. So we need this man with the cap, with the white hair on his head, which represents wisdom, to lead this country. Thank you.
Okay, very, very good. I mean, very good elaboration of your points. I'll move on to the next question. I believe you've tackled this enough, and I'll be waiting for comments and questions from people. You know, anyone who has any useful comment or interesting comment, please leave them in the comment section. We are reading all of them. Now I'll go to the next question I have for you, coming from me. So just be ready. Now let me show you my screen. Actually, it's about basically the presidential candidate Tinubu, who said it is his turn. Is it his turn or the turn of Nigerians? And are they synonymous? And why? But let's play a video before you answer the question. Yes?
Yorùbá ló kàn. Tá a bá dẹ̀ sa Yorùbá náà, èmi ló kàn. Èmi ọmọ Tèmídire. Àpèmọ́ra ẹni dẹ̀lí, ẹ̀yin tẹ̀dẹ̀ wọ plane, tẹ́ bá wà nù aeroplane, wọ́n ní tí oxygen bá fail, tí face mask bá yọ, bó ti ẹ̀gbọ́n mẹ́ dání sí ẹsẹ̀, má má fi kíní ẹsẹ̀ nù ẹ̀ náà, wà á kọ́ fi sójú ara ẹ̀, tó bá kọ́ fi sí ẹnu ẹ̀. Tó bá change, tó bá protect rẹ̀ ní kó tó protect ọmọ tó gbé dání. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́, eléyìí tí mo protect àwọn ọmọ tí mo gbé dání tó, èmi náà fẹ́ ṣe present. mi ò fẹ́ kán pa mí mọ́tàn. Mo ti adopt gbogbo nǹkan tí everything said by Kazeem Shettima. It is very true. And the helicopter only after 6. 6:30, wọ́n á ra gbé wa dé Ìkẹjà. A máa tún padà lọ láti Ìkẹjà lọ sí Abuja.
Okay, I think the point is clear. He said it's his turn, and enough of protecting other people. He too wants to be president. So please, could you throw some light on that? And if it's synonymous, if it's his turn or the turn of Nigerians?
Now, let me explain. I want to ask you a question. You said if it's his turn or the turn of Nigerians. My question is Bola Ahmed Tinubu a Nigerian?
Yes, he's a Nigerian. But his turn, the turn of a Nigerian doesn't mean the turn of all Nigerians. Does it represent his interest and the interest of Nigerians?
No, excuse me. You just answered my question, what I want to hear. Yes, he's a Nigerian. Secondly, is he going to rule with only people from outside Nigerians, or is going to rule with fellow Nigerians? Now, see, I don't want you to answer. The obvious is the answer. Now, see, let me tell you something. I don't know why people are running with a Milocon and running into the bush and hugging transformer, and even some of them committing self-inflicted injury. Now, let me tell you something. What is wrong for somebody? We all go to church, and they say we should have faith and say what you want to say. And when you pray, you say, I will be the next president of Nigeria. But nobody will hold you guilty for that. I'm sure if you ask your child today and say, what will you want to be in Nigeria? What do you want to be? You say, I want to be president. And then he gets to the time, he says, it's my turn to be president of this country. And you speak affirmation to life. What you say with your mouth is what it will be. I don't think it's wrong for anybody to aspire for anything. Even if the person wants to be the CBN president or the CBN governor, and he comes out to say, it is my turn to be the CBN governor. What you are saying, you are speaking your word to life, to existence. He said, with the mouth, confession is made unto righteousness. With your mouth, a closed mouth is a closed destiny. So open your mouth, say what you want. What you go to church, my brother, the three of you from your name, I can tell you are a Christian. Now, if you pray, do you pray for everybody or you pray for yourself first? When you are praying for greatness and say, I want to be great, are you saying everybody should be great? My brother, we are praying for ourselves to be great. And then we pray for our country to be better, to be great, yes. But we should be great. Your children should be great. You cannot say that you want my own children or DJ's children to be better than your children. No. You don't even put my name when you pray. So you see, when the man comes up to say, Èmi ló kàn, yes, Èmi ló kàn, ọjọ́ kan, ó máa kàn Dr. Ibe, ọjọ́ kan, ó máa kàn Dr. Godwin, ọjọ́ kan, ó máa kàn mí náà, Prince Eerik A Odigie. Yes. Is it not turn by turn to be presidency? Can all Nigerians rule at the same time? The answer is no. One man must rule one at a time. So when it gets to your turn to change the affairs of the country, seize it, because posterity is waiting. So it is nothing wrong. Look at the way he even explained it in full glare of everyone. It is the turn for Nigerians. It is the turn for the Yorubas. Even amongst the Yoruba, it is my turn. Unmistaken. I have helped so many people. I have helped this, I've helped that, I've helped this. It is my turn now. Let me do it. I don't want anybody to put me at the back burner. I don't want you to tell me stories. He has helped people in power who disappointed him. We have had some time when President Goodluck Jonathan, when President Buhari had to, have some issues with Bola Ahmed Tinubu because of some statement he said against his policies. That is a man of intelligence what they call integrity. Regardless that is his man in power, he speaks truth to power. So this is a man who will not be afraid of anybody, even as a city president. Even the president following him to countries, to states, to campaign. He said some people in the president's in the president's cabinet are fighting me not to. He is not afraid of anybody. That is the man we need. Not people will be kissing asses because he's the president. Let me not say something so that he will not support me. No! The president has one vote. Every Nigerian has one vote. It is the vote of the Nigerians that will put anybody in power, not the power of the president. It is the power of the Nigerian people. And he knows that. And he shouted when things were going wrong in this country. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one of the founders of NADECO. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one of the men in Nigeria who will sponsor rallies in Nigeria against, self-serving governments, self-serving regime, juntas, military juntas. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the only president, the only candidate, presidential candidate who has gone into exile because he's fighting for Nigeria. Any of them, none of these people have the caliber, have the integrity, have the history, have the clean track record of fighting for the masses more than any person less than Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They should come out and defend it. Show me where any of these people went on exile because they were fighting for their motherland. Show me where any of them ruled their state without the money from the federal government. Show me. You see, so look, my brother, let me tell you something. Nigerians like to buy bad propaganda. Like they say, bad news fly more, bad stories sell more. Nigerians, sometimes it's appalling for me to agree that sometimes even the most educated Nigerians can be very gullible when it comes to bad propaganda. A man who is a professor will listen to garbage and begin to sell it to his children. I have seen teachers in school selling candidates to pupils in primary school. Places that are meant for learning, places that are meant that are sanctified, holy for learning, they are turned into a political atmosphere. You see, so
thank you so much.
I would rather say that this man, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, if we miss him now, my brother, we have missed 10 presidents who are going to sit down and follow his blueprint because he is the master planner, the architect of all blueprints that can be anything progressive for Nigeria. Thank you.
Those are some very strong words. Very strong words. Mark, please throw one, I beg. Let's.
I'm really listening to Prince here. Prince is he's not just the youth leader for APC. I think Prince should be given a front seat in the campaign, APC campaign for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Very, very strong words. He's really ever ready, has the words right at the tip of his mouth. Okay, Prince, I want to say, this one is coming from my heart now. As of this morning, there are some videos going on where people were going to campaign, do support rally for another party, and some so-called other APC supporters accosted them, and they had some clashes. What is your take on violence and coercing people into voting? There is an audio message also where the chairman of Igbare Etiosa local government called a town hall meeting and coercing his citizens, his residents in Igbare Etiosa local government, coercing them into forceful voting for APC, for Tinubu. What will you say about this? Because where we are, we see this as very, very, it's really very sad, and it's not accepted. We call it democracy. So democracy, in a given democratic location, people have the right to their choice of candidates. You don't coerce them, you don't force them, you don't cow them, you don't bully them, you don't threaten them into voting. That is a crime against humanity for where we are. So what will you say about APC and this hooliganism and threats to coerce people to vote? Thank you.
All right, Godwin, I must thank you for the question. It's actually a question I actually prepared myself for. Please, I want to tell you that the voice recording that you heard was doctored. This is political time. Desperate politicians, desperate youths, desperate propagandists, desperate people, failures. You know, when you know that you will not win an election, you become desperate and begin to do anything you want to do. I saw a video some time ago where PDP youths with guns, a video, I'm not telling you about a mashed up audio recording, because of course you cannot coerce the man to say those things. You knew, you lied about it, you put them together, you lied. Now, this video, we saw the campaign vehicles of PDP. These guys came out with guns and they were, they were ready to kill. And it was not an APC person that recorded it. It's a Nigerian who is selling, her wares inside the shop, who recorded it, maybe a girl or a woman who recorded it, from where she was hiding inside a shop. Now, you see, APC will not coerce you to vote. Why? We already have the vote, my brother. APC has at least about 24 governors, if I'm not mistaken. And you can see from our campaign, state to state, what you see. Some people are very fast to say they are bought crowd, paid audience. I want to ask a question. Do you have all that money to pay for almost 10,000 people to come and watch one candidate? Now, there were even some instances where some people were even fighting and shouting. Are you saying that those people that are fighting and shouting, they were also paid? Those hecklers that came for the campaign, were they paid to come there? Except you want to say that they were paid by the other party to come and disrupt the campaign. When you see a good product, you want to hear, you want to listen, you want to see what these people are telling me. Is it true? If they say the man is not well, the man is this, and he's not dead yet. He has not missed one of his presidential campaign. If they say so, let me go and see him. My brother, the presenter from Sheung, the presenter from Channels Television, was reminded by Fashola in his last interview with him that don't forget, some years ago, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was, walking almost with a walking stick. And you were saying that this man was going to die. This man is looking sick. He went for all the campaign. He campaigned for his candidate, Buhari, and everything. And he's still alive today. He's not dead. You underestimate him at your peril. End of quote. Now, you see, when it comes to thuggery, APC don't need it. You only need it where you are afraid that you are going to lose. Let me tell you something. From the beginning of time that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been campaigning, he has never lost Lagos State. So why would he want to now do violence now? He has not lost it. APC has been winning Lagos, 100 over 100. Now, if you talk about popular people, like Comrade Adam Saliu, Eerik Oshomole, he has, the last election he did, there were 700 people in his unit or his ward, and the election read 700 over 0. All the vote went for APC. The last time that Comrade Adams Eerik A Oshomole contested for his election in his second term, it was 18 over 18 in all the local governments in Edo State. So how can you beat such track record? Now, but they are very quick to put one small cocoon of children who are selling pure water, shouting Obi, Chikerebu Obi, against the likes of Adam Saliu Oshomole when he was about to speak and say the Edo people have rejected him. No, they did not show those social media bigots, those people who are causing for the divide of Nigeria, all these social media small boys who are making cheap money from social media. They did not show when Oshomole went to Oba Market that same day. He was coming from Oba Market before he ended up in a Ring Road. They did not show when the women were shouting and almost pulling their wrapper and putting on the floor for him to walk past. They did not show that. You see, these are the things that disturbs me in political era. People want to destroy you by all means. That's why you must be tough, like a politician, to stand in and understand that this is a difficult terrain. Unlike the Western world where you people are enjoying peace and civility in the highest form. But here in Nigeria, you will go through hostility, you will go through money election, you will go through lies, you will go through bad propaganda or foolish propaganda against or for the other person, which is all packaged lies. So these are the things we are facing here. We are bedeviled here by. So please, my dear brother, don't be afraid. Rest your mind. APC does not represent acts or political thought or courts. That is not what APC represents. APC is for the people. It's a party for the people, by the people, and for the people. So you don't have anything to fear. We don't have any history that when there was a campaign in any place that the APC talks began to shoot and cause mayhem everywhere, regardless. No, it's not happening. But you see, we want to make this one as a stage of warning to all those who think that they have monopoly of violence, and they began to carry gun in some part of Lagos, even in Ogun State, and behaving as if they have the monopoly of violence. My dear, as a citizen of Nigeria with my fundamental human right, we have the right to defend ourselves. So if anybody thinks that he can manipulate the APC in any state and say because we don't go for violence, and then they want to come and visit us with their violence and their barbaric nature, we will face them fist to fist, fire to fire, gun for gun. And then they will know that we love Nigeria with our blood, our flesh, and our life. And we are ready to live our life for it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I am Massive Mark. That video you spoke about did it look doctored?
The video of them, well, it's not. I don't know which one Prince is referring to, but the one I saw earlier doesn't look doctored. Okay, but let's go further. Prince is good. He's saying this. Prince, we all want the best for our country. Yes. And take note, yes, Prince, that the Nigerians in diaspora are the ones that are keen and eager to see a transformed Nigeria, because it affects us as Nigerians in diaspora. A lot of us, to be honest with you, would have preferred to be home if things were all settled. So going further, apart from the thuggery and the coercion, forced votes, and all the forcing people to vote, one other thing is this: is there real concrete plan to change? Does APC truly, in its honesty, having it in mind that the man that is leaving is an APC president, and we didn't actually see much of development? I know that he tried, he did his bit. Buhari did his bit, he tried, but we can do more than that. Will there be real effect in Nigerian economy? Will there be real effect in our infrastructure? Electricity is a problem. Does Tinubu plan to have real concrete, not rambling rosling? There's a word called rambling rosling. Not that. It's high time Nigerians begin to look at things critical. You see, our problem is we play with everything, we joke with everything, we take everything for granted, and the world is moving ahead, leaving us. So are there real concrete plans for electricity, structural development? Are there real concrete plans for employment? Tons of millions of youths are employed, and that's why we are ranked as the world's cybercrime capital, because our youths are not working. And when people are not doing anything, these are youths that have the vigor, the energy, and they are not doing anything. So they turn to crime. So what are real concrete? Now, don't be emotional. Don't be agitated. what from your corner, from your office, as a supporter, as a youth frontman for APC, what do you think? How do you think? Have you seen apart from the manifesto? What do you see that could bring a real concrete development in Nigeria? Thank you.
Thank you, Godwin. You see, like I said, you asked me not to be emotional, so I want to speak. I want to speak calmly so that you don't think I'm just using emotion to hide behind. I'm hiding behind my emotion to speak. So I understand you. I understand what you're trying to say, but let me speak to you calmly. After all, your question did not arouse any anger or emotion. Now, let me tell you something. You see, I just told you, as a matter of fact, even the first presidential candidate to have a manifesto and to sell his manifesto to Nigeria is the APC. We have that in record. Why the other man was saying that he doesn't want to work with manifesto? We forced him to bring a manifesto. We forced him to bring a manifesto. And then at the end of the day, you can't even put the two manifestos side by side if you look at it. You see, I just told you that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has already gotten at least 50% of his ministerial appointees. He has already gotten more than 50% of his political appointees. He is in a hurry to get things on the ground and running. You will remember that when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State was always going through hell when it talks about light. I don't know if you ever lived in Lagos at that time. It was a hell of a thing. In fact, it's a luxury to have light in Lagos. But when it came, that was the beginning of the gas turbine. I don't know if you can remember. That was the beginning of light infrastructure. The man began to fight the federal government for the people. When they began to say that the light belongs to federal government, can be controlled, the man boycotted them and made sure his people had light. That is one. Two, you talked about job employment. You must have forgotten who Bola Ahmed Tinubu is. As we speak now, the APC national woman leader for our party is a young youth, very young youth. I'm sure she's maybe in her early 40s or late 30s. Very, very young. Woman leader. I'm not talking about youth leader, woman leader. That's number one. If you look at our campaign, you will discover that you will see artists of all kinds, all youths, performing to the point that even our opponents are now beginning to say that what we do in our campaign is to dance. That we just play music and dance. We don't sell our manifesto to the people, we just dance. Look at that dry talk. Whereas what we do is to empower. The list of the person that is collecting money to be on that stage is ₦1 million. Because I'm an insider, I can tell you figures. The list they will collect is ₦1 million. How much empowerment do you want again? Now, at the time when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a governor, Lagos State was like a beehive of a den of thieves. You know, wayward people. Youths who are restive, youths who are into different kinds of vices, into drugs, alcoholism, and all forms of vices. But when he came into power, he built garages, designated garages. Those people who did not go to school, who of course cannot work in offices, he made them garage managers. The NURTW became very powerful and strong. People began to shout that the man wants to use it for political gains. But you see, even Jesus was coded by rabbis and scribes and Pharisees that all these things he's doing are mere shenanigans, and even cost him for performing miracles on Sunday. So things that help the people, he was insulted for it. My brother, Lagos State youths can never forget Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the human empowerment that he did for them. Are we talking about the scholarships? Are we talking about the renovations of the Jakonde secondary schools? Massive renovations. renovations at its peak. It was in the beginning of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that we know that a government school can look like Pampas International School. School that are made for the elite children to attend. That we can have a school for the public looking so garnished, let me use the word. And so you see, it is time. And are you not going to say, we all know that we don't want to leave our children for our fathers, our parents, which is their grandfather, because it will overpamper them to spoil. Are we now saying that now that he is even having more knowledge and knowing the pains of Nigerians, that he will not do even better because of his age? No. You see, let me tell you something. Like minds attract. Am I correct, Dr. Ibe?
Yes.
Good. Now, what are you now telling me? If we all agree, I was speaking to my cousin this evening. He is an obedient. And I told him, what I'm asking you now. I said, if he said he would have voted for Tinubu, but for his age, that Tinubu has the best reputation compared to all other candidates. I said, hold it there. What do they say about like minds? He said, attract. I said, God bless you. God bless you. When he was a governor, he showed that. So now that he's going to be the president by God's grace, are you going to tell me that he's now going to repel like minds? No. When he gets there, he knows how to. In fact, my brother, if you see, God, please indulge yourself. Download our manifesto. Look at it. Let us go. If we go by the books, if they are marking it like exam, my brother, there will be A+++ for Bola Ahmed Tinubu's manifesto compared to the washy-wishy, whatever, like you said, rabble-rouser proposal from the other parties. You know what they say? Something is, harshly put together by people who don't even know what it is to govern. My brother, there are many things to compare that you cannot compare Bola Ahmed Tinubu with other candidates that are contesting from other political parties. Many things, you can't put them together. So I can tell you that the youths will be well employed, trained, given international recognition. Platforms will be created for the youths. All our history of violence, all our history of vices from the youth will be garnished. My brother, we are saying today that Lagos is the entertainment theater of Africa. Who do you think brought about it? Are you aware, sir, that during Bola Ahmed Tinubu's era, even Obesere became popular? Are you aware? Are you aware that the Nigerian movie industry, we are collecting subvention from the Lagos state government at the time of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Are you aware? Do you also know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was one man who always does his town hall? And whenever there's a town hall, there must be some artists. There must be Ayefele. There must be Kwamwan. Why do you even think that most artists in Nigeria, musicians and actresses, they refuse to come out to campaign for anybody? Because one, they don't want to come out for Bola Tinubu because they could come out, but they don't want the obedience and the other people who are disobedient, who don't have respect for people, to back at them. So they don't want that messy, crowd. That's why they took their cool. But during the other time, we saw the actresses and actors came out to campaign and protest for what they don't want. But none of these people who are the highest of these artists and all that could post anything against Bola Ahmed Tinubu because they know their onions. They know where they are coming from. Lagos is the entertainment theater of the world because of the platform created by Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Let me just wrap up with this one. Thank you very much, Prince. Prince, you're more than a spokesman. In fact, you sell the APC very well. You sell Tinubu campaign team very well. And I like people that stand for what they believe in. You're not standing on the fence. You're standing for what you believe. Well done. Well done. We are media people, and we don't take sides. We do what should be done. We don't You don't take side. You're neutral. So accept that from us. But let me just say this. I was born in Lagos. Yes.
Okay.
And I lived in Lagos. I speak Yoruba very well. I'm a Lagos man until I came to Europe, and I still go back and forth. Now, the honest truth is this. Listen to this. There were previous leadership in Lagos. We had Mobiliser Johnson. I experienced all this. I'm an old man too. So I experienced the tenure of Mobiliser Johnson, Jakonde, Ahigbe, Marwa, and all these people. And everybody did their best. Now, take note that Lagos used to be the capital of Nigeria. So what that means was a lot of things Lagos gets the benefit first. So then Bat came in, Bob-Manuel Tinubu came in and took it up from where that has been laid. But the honest truth, I'm speaking my conscience now. And like I said, we're impartial, we're media people, Dr. Godwin too. So we say things as it is. The honest truth is Jakonde laid a lot of foundation of what became the Lagos Tinubu took over. I went to school in Lagos. I was born in Maryland, there in Lagos, and I schooled Lagos. So Jakonde, I saw what Jakonde did. We grew up with the LSTC bus. Maybe you might not know this. We grew up with Lagos being very organized. We went to school with
LSTC bus, the red bus.
Red bus, good. Yes, 79, 77, 77, 78, 79. So Jakonde did a lot. Schools, everybody went to school, primary to secondary, on free education, basically free. And they even give us exercise books, educational materials to go along with. So we saw that. We saw the Jakonde estates. We saw so many things he did. Then our man came later. Take note, it wasn't after Jakonde. There were other governors in between. Then Tinubu came in. But somehow I see Tinubu taking all the credit. I don't know what you say about that. I speak as a media man. I see him taking all the credit for some of the things that were laid down before he came. The LASMA, the dustbin people, was an idea from the previous government. The locust houses and even the metro line, take note, the metro line, this blue rail and all this were laid plans before previous. So, but all of a sudden now, I'm hearing he did this, he did that, he's one that, and I'm wondering, but I grew up in, I was born in Lagos, I grew up in Lagos. I knew somebody started all this. So tell us, why is it for political reason? Why are they ascribing all the developments of Lagos to Tinubu?
I can't even wait to answer your question. In fact, I would easily call you Godwin Obaseki, because you have spoken like our opponent. Because when you were speaking as a Lagos boy, you obviously was in Lagos when all these people were doing what they were doing, like you said. But the moment Tinubu entered as a governor of Lagos, you left and never came back until now. Now let me tell you something. In case you forgot, Lagos was the most dirtiest place in the whole of the world. And I know you will not remember. You know, there will be sudden amnesia. Now, talking about Tinubu, you will not remember. In fact, everything you have said now, you did not even say one thing to balance your statement that this was what Tinubu did. Why, you know, at least he did this, he did that. Why are they arrogating everything to him? What you said now are all obsolete. And if you are a good reporter, you should have been able to balance the two and say, okay, we knew he did this, we knew he did that, we knew. You could not even say one. But let me help you because of your nostalgia. But listen, Tinubu was he is rather a reformer. He is the founder of the modern Lagos. Nobody said that, yes, Nigeria was formerly bearing the capital in Lagos. No, nobody changed that. But even at that, my brother, you would remember that we are talking about the 70s. We are talking about backward years. Years when things were, Nigeria was still like Igbiyogo. Even Lagos as a center of Nigeria was like my village. There are some times you could even buy land in Ikoyi for 100 naira as at the time. I know you will not remember. You will never remember that Lekki, there was nothing like Lekki to think of, except you think of it as a beach. Because as a small boy, my father and my elder brother used to carry me to Lekki Beach, Bar Beach. And we know the narrow roads that we usually go through when we are going to that place. And it's usually very, very lonely going to Lekki Beach. I can also remember that my father used to take me to Badagry Beach. And when we are going to Badagry Beach, you will be driving for almost 1 hour and there will be no traffic. You will go there peacefully and come back. Even when you get to the beach, you are afraid, as if you are the only one there. But my brother, you forgot that the reason why there was a tsunami and explosion of population in Lagos was because as Tinubu came in and took strong hold of the situation that he found and began to turn it to the favor of the youth, the youths all over the world began to change their destination to Lagos. You also will forget, very quick, very, very quick and easy for you to say, that they arrogated everything to Tinubu, as if Bola Johnson did not do anything. As if Bob-Manuel, who is of the Keke fame now, did not do anything. What do you want to be remembered for? I want to be remembered for the same way that Bola Tinubu will be remembered for. It's a shame that very elderly people in the diaspora, people who are supposed to be forthright, forward, integrity in place, straightforwardness in place, are the one championing these disobedient bullies everywhere. It's a shame. Now let me explain something to you. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I know you would have forgotten, because sometimes when you want to go south, you go very fast and go alone. You forgot that the school that Jakonde built, when it rains, you cannot study, because the rain will flog you inside your school. Please, I want to ask you, do you remember the school? Hello?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But take note also.
No. I just want to continue. I just want to continue. Let me continue. You have your time. Let me continue. This is my time. Let me continue. I just want to ask you that, so that I want to remind you, because you have you suddenly have nostalgia now while you were naming all these things. You forgot. Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu came, put in glasses, window blinds, built schools that became finer than our homes that we lived in at the time. Schools that teachers have their own rooms, teachers have their own toilets. Students now can go to toilet without going to the back of the class to do their business. You see, it is very easy for us to forget that also, it was also Bola Ahmed Tinubu who came in and put in structures, blueprints. We called it the 20 years Lagos master plan. You cannot remember because you forgot so fast. 20 years master plan that not even Fashola can forget, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they were following his master plan 20 years after he left office. My brother, I am surprised that you said this as a journalist and you couldn't balance your statement very well. I am surprised. And this is why we are seeing most people who are from the diaspora misleading people here. It's easy for you guys to mislead them because they say, who pays the piper dictates the tune. You guys are the one feeding your families here in Nigeria. So obviously you can manipulate their conscience, because if they refuse you, you can starve them with your gifts. So that's what we see. If my friends and people who they know by God's grace, I'm even better than most of them, as God has placed it. They could even begin to be arrogant and bullies over my choice of candidates. I can wonder what people who are paying them will do. Now, see, let me also remind you very quickly.
Okay,
that it was Bola Ahmed Tinubu who, I want to round up now. It was Bola Ahmed Tinubu who said that his predecessors will be more intelligent, will be more better, will be more, vast and versatile. Let me use it like that. More than him. If not, he will never be successful, regardless of who they are. If you remember, the moment he was leaving office, his own chief of staff was campaigning for another person to be governor. And he told him, I've seen the way you work with me, with diligence, uprightness, with the zeal for the people and the love of the people. You are going to be the next governor. That is the kind of man we have in power. We have to be, to become a president. That's the kind of man we want to have in power, who will look at people not for their tribe, not for their inclination, not for their religion, and choose them regardless. We are talking about Muslim and Muslim ticket. People are very fast to say, how can Muslim and Muslim become president in Nigeria? What a shame. What a shame. We can never have a Christian president without a Muslim vote. You can never. Let all the Christians in Nigeria vote one way, and let all the Hausas or the other race vote with one way, and let's see who would win the election. If that is what we have been practicing in Nigeria, we will not have had a country called Nigeria anymore. Now, suddenly, it has now become debatable that people can now ask silly questions. Why do we have Muslim and Muslim ticket? My brother, when you have a president in office, the vice president is a spare tire. The vice president has no legal or what they call it. What's the word? I'm looking for a word now. Let me leave it at that. Any legal right to do anything in office. No, it is the right of the president until delegated to, before he can speak or perform whatever you want to do as an acting president or even as a vice president. So what are we talking about? Are we now saying that if we have a Muslim ticket, or let me leave it at that. Let me ask you, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, because that's what I think you are. If Mr. Godwin Obaseki, in the person of Mark Godwin over there, is telling me, if you enter an aeroplane now, tomorrow, and you see that the two people flying the plane are Muslim, you will come down from the plane and say, why don't we have a Christian? I did not see any Nigerian leave London because a pagan, somebody who worshipped other gods, became the prime minister of United Britain. I did not see any Nigerian protest. I did not see any Nigerian turn their international passport. I did not see any Nigerian leave UK and say, no more, I cannot live in this country where demon is the aim of affair. The man boldly brought his juju and his shrine in front of number 10 before he entered the office and made abolition right there. And no Nigerian said a word. It's a shame. It's a shame how Nigeria is falling to tradition of religion. It's a shame. It's a shame how people hide behind religion to sell their narcissistic ideas to the people. It's a shame. It's a shame how Nigerians in diaspora who are so-called professionals, who are so-called rich people, who are so-called elites, lead the people astray with a blind fist and a blind eye because the people are poor. It's a shame. I rest my case.
Thank you so much. Those are strong words. We've seen some comments and we've also published them. The comments talking about military junta and also talked about Molue.
Yes, he's saying that that I was mentioning Jaconde, an era of years back, 1979 to 83. But you see, what is happening is we are not getting the facts down. I'm putting a question, not as my own thoughts, but the thoughts of a lot of people, because this is what an accumulation of other people's comments
Mm-hmm.
and everything. I just
You forgot you made mention that you are speaking from your experience.
Yes.
Yes,
I started from my experience, but it's a mobbled up question. And calling me Ogbaseki, that's not too right in the view in the public. I don't know.
I'm a politician. I use that to describe what I think you are doing.
Let me say
no, that's absolutely. Not everyone will accept, but it's fine. You talked about bullying.
All right, Mr. Godwin, I'm sorry. Yes. I thank you for not accepting to be Obaseki. So you agree with me that it was a derogatory statement. I'm sorry. Please accept my, for you not to even agree. Accept my sincere apology.
Prince, you have really given out real facts. We are listening. You said all we are doing is collating voices, thoughts, expressions, and putting them together. So, and it's good. We also ask some of these very confrontational questions so that you can pour out. Do you understand? If this is not, you will not say what you said now. So don't be on the be there for the confrontation. It's good. It balances up what you do also. And I want to thank Adeyemi Adebayo for his comment. Yes, the fact is life is about progress. We grow through different stages. At that time of Nigeria, of Lagos, that was what was progress. So, and it has been evolving through the stage. So, but nobody will rub off what Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done. He did a lot. Yes, I was there in Lagos too, and I'm always there. I'm Lagos born, my brother. So yes, we see everything, and we appreciate. Listen, it's all about life. Also, this is life.
Sorry to interrupt you. Do you agree with Prince that there's been significant development under Bat's governorship?
Yes. Yes, I will agree to an extent. If we put on a scale of 100, wait. If we put on a scale of 100, I would take 65%. 65.
That's a pass mark. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
65 because a lot of changes came. I saw what happened with the dustbin arrangement. There were real good arrangement on dustbin carrying waste in Lagos State. I also saw a little of the electricity he talked about. Yes, I experienced that. And we saw orderliness in the marketplace. The market women activity, the market arrangement in Lagos State changed. There were now orderliness because there were unions and groups and all this. So it helped to make the marketplace an orderly place. You can go, come out. Then we also saw an increase in a little anyway, an increase in security because private individuals were allowed to run security outfits. I hope you know that that's correct. Prince, is that true? Yeah. We now have what you call various security arms handling banks, market organizations, and places. So yes, these were all, I witnessed all this. So 65 for me, 65 over 100.
Okay, well, I want to ask something quite important. Adeyemi Adeboye, I will see your comments. I'll put them on the screen for everyone to see. I want to tell Prince that it's because of the receptiveness of Nigerians in diaspora. That's why we NIDO Russia have reached out to you to invite you. We've done the same for other parties, SDP, Labour Party, NNPP, even brought the National Commissioner to talk about the process. So it's not because of controlling or because we are the piper, no, but basically because we want educated opinions and views on all topics, and that is why you are here today. Now, I'm happy to hear from all sides, especially also getting to know that BAT has done some great things that one can be proud of, and that's why we've also highlighted what Adeyemi Adebayo said. We want to hear the truth and we want everyone to see it. Now, I want to ask one question that is important for Nigerians in diaspora. The Nigerian diaspora voting bill didn't scale through, as you're aware. What are the views of APC candidates in terms of Nigerians diaspora being able to vote and being able to directly shape in a democratic fashion, shape the future and progress of Nigerians? What do you think about it, Prince?
Well, I think for my party, let me just first answer the question straight, because from my speech since this evening, you will tell that I'm a very direct and blunt person. I don't go behind the curtains. Yes, we in the APC would love our brothers in diaspora to vote. I want you to have that settled first. However, we are not yet digitally settled to be able to count votes inside Lagos completely, without error, without beavers reading A and the registration reading B. We have not even succeeded with that yet. We are not even done with electronic transfer of votes, of vote casts. We are not even good with that yet. Let alone talking about somebody who is not even in the confines of the country voting. That would be massive rigging. Where you cannot do a census of how many Nigerians you have over there. As we speak now, Nigerians cannot tell Nigeria. Even our ambassador in your country, let me say Russia, for instance, cannot even tell how many Nigerians are in Russia, let alone how many Nigerians are in the US. You see? Because some people are there legally, some people are there illegally. So what are you going to say? How do those guys who are hiding in under their duvet come out and be counted? So it's going to be a very difficult task. It's something that it looks so impossible to do, but with technology, yes, it can be possible. But because of the illegal migration and some people also becoming different citizens overnight because of good life. How do you say that we have 200 candidates today, 200 citizens in Russia today, and tomorrow the man said he's no more in Nigeria and he's now in Russia, and then he doesn't even want to have dual citizen, he wants to have one. How do you do that? So there's a lot of issues that needs to be tackled before anyone would agree to a diaspora vote. A lot of issues. But however, I just want you to be rest assured, it's a direct answer for me and my party. We would love our brothers to vote. We have our grassroots mobilizers in almost all the European countries working for us in different countries. So you can imagine if we have those people vote for us, so that's the thing. But, it can only get better.
Great. Thank you. One next question about we are currently in the APC administration. It's no secret. So you are pushing for another APC administration. Now, is your party in support of the new Naira note, the release, distribution? Do you perceive it as an economic or political move, or both?
Let me first answer. Let me take the question one by one, because this is a very sensitive question you just asked. If our party is, interested in the change of note, yes, emphatic, yes. It's even long overdue. However, the policies of the CBN governor is laughable. This, for me, has just confirmed our fear that Godwin has just shown himself to be a massive failure as a man in the middle of a very suicidal administration such as that. My brother, let me tell you, in case you don't know, because if you actually have the nitty-gritty of these things, I'm not sure this question, you will bring it up. Let me tell you, sir, are you aware that citizens of Nigeria was restricted of their own money because of change of currency?
I'm aware.
That a citizen of Nigeria who doesn't have a company, so traders, barbers, ice cream sellers, people who sell firewood in thousands and millions of naira, who are traders. You know, they go to bank with their name. I'm sure you know that. Okay? They don't have to put, like me, who have an establishment like this, you know, who have a company, you know, and say, okay, my organization is the Divine Smile, and then it's registered with government and all that. You can put that together. No. These are traders. They go there like, you know, having savings accounts to do businesses. And then you say that they cannot withdraw more than 100,000 naira. Have you not grinded the economy? You have grinded the economy.
Sure.
Secondly, you are also saying that big multinationals like Julius Berger, big multinationals like MTN, big multinationals like RCC, big multinationals like NDDC should only withdraw 5 million per day. 5 million is not even enough to buy fuel for a day, in fact, for 1 hour. 5 million is not enough for MTN to back up their powers in their power bank. In fact, in Yokodion alone, in one small tiny village, for 1 day, it's a laughter. It's a laughable thing. That people will gather together and trusted by Nigerians to take care of their policies, and then you sit down in that office to insult the right of Nigerians and their wisdom and their knowledge, and you are telling us the whole world over that you are the best of the best that Nigeria can produce to manage their finances. That is a joke of the century. In a country where we are full of talent and versatile men and women who can even rule the world. It's a shame. And that is the reason why they are asking Emefiele to resign. Have you even asked yourself, why are the DSS after him? Why is he running? Why is he running from court to court, looking for people to help him not to be arrested? Have you asked yourself? I thought you would ask me that. Now
yeah, I was surprised he's not been arrested.
Okay,
considering the rumors
going on. Yeah, a lot of things are going on, and the APC, even the APC, are the ones crying. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the first person to cry among the presidential candidates. Why the other man, who is always being advised by madmen, is saying that the policy is because Bola Ahmed Tinubu has 200 billion kept somewhere. My brother, are you aware that the Buhari regime for whistleblower is still in effect? Are you saying that everybody that pack 200 billion, my brother, see, Nigeria is not Zimbabwe. Our money is not Pakistan money. Our money is not one useless country money that does not have value. Our country money still have value. So if somebody still says that you can gather the cash, 200 billion, stock somewhere, and nobody knows, and it didn't even affect the economy, it's a laughable thing to put together. And then a man who is always being advised by madmen is saying that Nigerians should fight and resist the change of dates for the taking of Naira. I just posted on my status.
Sorry, this terminology, madman. I think, well, first of all, it's too harsh, but I would like it to be more specific. Which candidate are you speaking about, and who are these people you?
I know my brother Godwin will know who I'm talking about, because it's a video we saw where Peter Obi was saying that he was giving this advice by a madman. He said it. He said it by himself. So if people who are advised by madmen are not the one that people want to put in power, then it's a shame. It's a big shame that we are going to repeat another Emefiele in the Aso Rock. So you see, let me tell you something.
But is it not an APC policy? I mean, it's a CBN policy who was appointed by the APC administration and backed up because he's reported to the presidency. We've seen these videos. He has the backing of the presidency and APC top member. What is going on? And you are here saying that. So are you saying the camp is divided? Why the president?
Let me explain to you how the CBN work. The CBN is an autonomous organization who they run themselves, they rule themselves, they take decisions, they only just brief the president. And then the president, before the president can overturn whatever they want to do, they have to go back to the house. Now, let me explain something. You can likely say that, yes, the president was in full support, which of course he came out and said it. But you must understand also that president, like I was trying to tell you, that the president is not just in one man, it's in so many advices, or so many advisors, right word. Now you see, when people come and begin to tell you different things, there's a point of confusion. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. There's a point let's try and see how it goes. Let's try. When you try, the policy becomes unpopular. You withdraw it. It happens everywhere in the world. So maybe he thought, yes, that would have been a good way to go about it. Maybe, you know, and then of course you will agree with me that they cannot obviously tell him all the nitty-gritty of the policy, because policy book can be very cumbersome and you know, it can be boring for you to read. I'm sure you agree with me. And then the president cannot have all the time to sit down and begin to read all of them together. Neither will even have 1 hour to listen to Emefiele. But Emefiele could have the opportunity to deceive the president systematically because of the position that he's holding. So that's where we are. That's what we are saying. And now you remember.
You're saying the president was deceived. Because if someone comes to you and says, we want to have a new Naira note, we don't have enough time to circulate it, the villagers don't have it, businesses, they will be limited, we will invalidate the old legal tender in such a short time, you would say, well, let us try it.
Yeah. You see, and then this man went back to the president when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was crying and some other meaningful Nigerians were shouting that, what are you doing? You are behaving like somebody without brains. He went back to the president to tell the president that, look at the caliber of people that are complaining. There are people who have stolen your money, who have stolen Nigerians' wealth. They are the one crying. Are the poor people crying? Obviously, the poor people were not crying before. Before this policy was implemented, they were not crying because it has not been implemented for them to know that this was anti-people policy. But the people that have read the book, people who have seen it, who have heard of the plan, they started shouting, foul, foul, foul. He went back to the president, deceived Mr. President that it was because they want to use it to buy votes and pay for political thuggery and use it for terrorism. That is the reason why. That's why Mr. President came out to say no going back. But when Mr. President saw...
Sorry, today is the 11th of February. Are you saying up till today, the 11th of February, the eyes is not still clear if it was a deceit or not? And the state of preparedness, we had the INEC National Commissioner said that the Naira currency shortage is even affecting logistics for the election. And we had the military also come out and complain.
Now, even sorry, I'm sweating because I'm on generator, you know, so that's why I'm sweating.
I was going to get to that. We'll get to that. why your administration is having to...
Yeah. No, calm down. No, calm down. Look, let me explain something to you. You see, I will answer your question, but I will answer that jovial question, but let's finish the serious one first. Now, Mr. President has listened to wise counsel, and there's nothing for him to say because the matter was already in court. That's why he couldn't just come out to say anything. You don't make mention of any matter that is already in court. I hope you understand that. Now, Mr. President, and the Supreme Court has said, let us maintain status quo of using the former currency and the new currency combined until the further judgment that will be passed. However, we already know where the judgment is swinging to. And even before that, I have read a press release from the CBN that they are going to be using the new currency and the old currency side by side until they are able to withdraw all the old currency over the years. Now, so which means that they also have backed down on their plan. But about 100,000 naira withdrawal, which has now resulted to some people 3,000 withdrawal or even 5,000 naira withdrawal. Now, oh, my dear brother, it's laughable. Now, let's come to the issue of light, the question you just laughed me with just now. You see, Nigeria is a very, very complex country. It's a country where you need a Bola Tinubu who not only know what to do, but also have the goodwill from those in power, because he's a vast businessman. Of course, you know that. He's not just a politician who has no career. He's a politician who is a more-time business mogul. Now to come up together and say, hey, my business compatriots, what we are doing, what you people are doing over there is affecting the economy. Let's do this, let's do that. Now, when a president comes up and has a certain policy, you can agree, just like Jesus, there will be many people who want to frustrate it. There will be many people who want to frustrate it. So you need a strong, and sometimes if you want to go strong, you will even almost kill your own child. You don't throw the child away with the bad water. So you have to go with systemic approach, trying to correct things. So, that's why, Nigeria is moving forward, slowly but surely, we'll get there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have this regime. You might argue they've done some things if you want to argue that line, but we've not had a shortage of scarcity. So if it's not new naira scarcity, it's fuel scarcity or power scarcity. Strike has not been scarce, whether it's the ASU or not ASU. There's no shortage of any scarcity. That's not the positive kind of scarcity. We want scarcity of crimes. We want scarcity of violence. We want scarcity of bad roads, And I'm saying this because this affects everybody, especially those who are based there currently like you. And I'm sure you want better. Now, this you are saying, from what I get from your argument, is that Tinubu is different from our president, and you think Nigerians buy this? You think that it's Nigerians think that the same party that has what you can say is a complex Nigeria, but I'm speaking only result-based. Result-based, we've had lots of wrong scarcities that we don't really find palatable. Do you think it's sellable, what you're saying, that it's going to be different this time around with the same party but a different principle?
Well, thank you, my brother, for this question. This is, to me, the most difficult question I've ever come to answer, especially in a time like this. I sympathize with my fellow Nigerians. I personally also stayed in the queue today for almost 1 hour to buy fuel. We cannot deny that. My father, Comrade Adam Sushomole, also said today that, some time ago, that he bought fuel for 1,000 naira. So it's nothing that we should deny or begin to fight about. No, it's a fact, and it's something that is happening. But however, it's not something that is new to only this administration. It's not something that is new to Nigeria. We have been seeing it, and some people who want to make sure that they frustrate your effort as a leader are always there. Why do we have this scarcity? The president came up and said, let us remove fuel subsidy. My brother, anytime there is a removal of fuel subsidy, there will always be fuel crisis. Do you agree with me?
There's a correlation. Now, I'm not sure it's a cause effect.
The reason why that happens is because some people who feel they have lost their job and they are the same importer of this product will start, stiffening our neck not to have the product, so that the people will rebel against the policy that is for the people. That's what happens. Now, that aside, sabotage, that's what happened. Now, apart from that also, we're talking about the naira scarcity. You also talked about the strike from the ASU and the strike from the doctors union and all that. My brother, are you aware that Mr. President came up and said, let us have one treasury account? the name just dodged my memory now, and say let us have one account so that we can pinpoint where the corruption is coming from. And that became another issue where there is a gang up and sabotage on the government. Doctors want to have their own departmental account. If I'm in the department of pharmacy in the hospital, let the money for pharmacy be going to my own account. I can now give the final account to the CMD. And that is where corruption comes in. Then the CMD also want to have his own account so that it can be in his control. But the person, no, put it in one account. All these things will always bring sabotage. Now, for the ASU issue is not Buhari issue. ASU issue is as a result of past maladministration by the PDP. ASU will tell you for many years, the areas have been there. This one, that one. All the cries I have been crying has been from the era of PDP, not APC. You see, it's very easy for us as Nigerians to rate people by their faults, their actions or inactions. But when it comes to the good, are you aware, sir, that people in the South?
Prince, good answers. Sponsor. Let me crown this up, Dr. Godwin, so that we begin to round up.
Okay.
It's in line with what Dr. Godwin said, and this is probably my own last take. If the party APC is so united, and now our senior man Bob-Manuel Tinubu is coming, and he had all these blueprints and master plan and all of it, why didn't he coming into the Buhari's era, in the heat of this scarcity he was talking about, in the heat of these strikes and all the afflictions people were going through, why didn't our big brother come in and sell these ideas? He's probably coming to tell people now, to help to rescue the economy as a party member with Buhari. Why didn't he sell his ideas to help the economy, help the situation to Buhari? Waiting to now come in when a lot of damages have been done, and now he also wants to come in and
I'll just add into that, also taking into account that even though you can blame saboteurs, you can blame other people, but the buck stops at the president's desk. He's made a lot of campaign promises. Before, he said he knew there were saboteurs, he knew that there were problems before, he was going to meet old problems, he made promises, and this is the end of his. Can we say we got those promises? I'm not sure a lot of Nigerians will agree that we got them in the area of infrastructure or maybe security, or maybe all the scarcity we've talked about. I'm not sure that the result matches the campaign promise. And even if you want to blame,
you easily forget that during Goodluck Jonathan era, Nigeria was almost overrun by the terrorists. They were already in Abuja, and they were bombing Abuja like no man's business. So much so that my Abuja brothers and sisters relocated to Benue State, Enugu, Kogi, and the neighboring states. Even Nasarawa, you forgot that it was the bombing of Abuja that made that removed the divide between Nasarawa State and Abuja. Now you can't even tell where you live, whether you live in Nasarawa or you live in Abuja, because at the time of OBJ, they were bombing. They could, if they could, they would even bomb OBJ. You forgot so easily. You see, these are the things I was just saying.
But El-Rufai said that Kaduna.
Let me also speak my own. Okay. You see, let me tell you something. I will not forget. I'm a Nigerian. I will not forget. I'm somebody. I will not forget where the rain beats me and where the sun dries me up, so that I can show my appreciation or show my distaste in the place where I don't want. Now, you see, let me tell you, it's easy for you to say that Mr. President has not done anything as regards to security and security of lives and property since he was since he came into power. It's easy for you to say, because we still have some pocket and opportunistic kidnappings going on and on. And then all this, but when it comes to large-scale terrorism, we have not seen that happening anyway. And so if you say that also, you're also removing all the victories earned by our gallant victors, gallant soldiers, heroes, heroes that are falling heroes, and living legends and heroes of our military, and the sacrifices they have made over the years. You are removing that from our brothers and our fathers in the war front. No, 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 no. I will take that from you. And then again, I also want to make you know that it is in the era since 1999, monies that were made for the South was released unconditionally for the Southern governors. Something all Southern governors could not, Southern presidents in power could not achieve. Our president made bold to give such huge sum of money, even in the midst of borrowing. Even when he knew that the country is indebted to some people in some level, he still did that. When some people will take the money and use it and say, instead of us to go and borrow, let us continue to owe these people. No, he gave it out. Nobody is saying that today. That has revealed to us the wickedness of some of these greedy governors who have now become municipal power and power wickedness in their states. Collecting money from local government, collecting money from federal government, collecting our future money for our children, stealing them blindly for themselves and for their children unborn. And then President came out and said, the reason why our country is like this is because of some wicked governors. And all the governors want to, swallow him for saying that. So we know what is happening. We know what is happening. But however, I will agree with you in some point that because of these issues that have bedeviled us, it has reduced our pace to greatness. It has reduced our victories that we have scored as a party. It has reduced the awareness that our victories would have earned because of these pockets of, wicked people everywhere, spoiling all the good things we'll do and then bringing up bad things and then selling it to the public. We agree. But then we still know that even Wike, a sharp opposition of the president, could repent when he began to see and understand the person called Muhammadu Buhari, to apologize to Mr. President for being such a pain in his butt. I don't want to use the other word. And then becoming a friend to him, reconciling all his differences. When monies of such magnitude was released to them, what Goodluck Jonathan could not do, what Obasanjo could not do, what even Osibanjo, when he was acting president, could not do. And then we have a Fulani man that we are very easy to kill. A Fulani man that we are very easy to say is a Muslim, is an Islamic bigot. A Fulani man who we are very easy to say is brain dead or his ear does not work, has now suddenly begin to hear and his brain is now working. It's a shame.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
You did the one of giving the same idea of progress that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has. He could have chipped in some of those ideas and helped the economy.
Okay, yes, that question you asked. I told you sometime when I was talking about about 34 minutes into this program, I said Bola Ahmed Tinubu on several occasions has criticized the policies of President of President Buhari, that even some people in power were fighting him. I'm sure you forgot. They fought him, and people began to say, it looks like these people, they are fighting over something. And the man came out and said, no, we are not. I just disagree. Even for the first time that Buhari, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and former President Obasanjo agreed with Tinubu that the policy of the president is against the people. And at any time the Tinubu comes out to speak against the policy, even APC members will begin to say, oh no, this man is fighting Buhari because he supported him in his government. Even people inside the APC, they now began to have the two factions, the Buhari faction and the pro-Tinubu faction, because the man will speak out to speak truth to power and come and say. So even just now, something that just happened now, we saw how he spoke out against the policy and said this Naira policy is satanic, is barbaric, is anti-people, is going to punish the people. Even the same people that he was fighting for, we are calling him names. You want to use the money to rig election. When you and all your money, let's say your 50,000 naira in your bank account has been frozen indirectly by your own bank, and the man is saying, no, you have right to your money and to right to live a good life. And you are the one crying and saying, leave it, let us die in our pain. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I think we can call it a day for today. We've really gotten lots of insight. Thank you for being here, Prince. Thank you also to my fellow panelist, Godwin. It's been a productive session. We've gotten to hear from his points of view. I think we can agree with some of the things he said. He's also agreed with some of the things we've suggested. I think I would like to highlight that basically he argues for voting for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while at the same time agreeing that the performance has been below expectation, and that there are still some deep-rooted long-term problems which Nigeria faces, and which limits not only Nigeria but the, in quote, victories of his party. I also like to correct the notion that I didn't say, I have never also said that President Buhari didn't achieve anything in security. I've only said that we still have a lot of security problems, and it's glaring. We've heard about the kidnapping insurance, and which is still ongoing, and we also during this admission we got the End SARS protest, which unfortunately lots of lives were lost. But nonetheless, that does not mean efforts were not made. It's just that we can all agree that the result is not where it should be, and there's a lot of room for improvement. So with that, I'd like to say thank you so much. Are there any last words, 5-second words to say to Nigerians who want to vote? I also like to thank Adeyemi Adebayo for your contribution today. We've put most of your comments on the screen for other viewers to see, and thanks to all our viewers who are watching us. As you can see, we take your comments and opinions serious and attend to them. Are there any quick 5-second words you'd like to tell our voters, who are looking forward to the next election and hoping that it will be free and fair? Let's start with you, Massive Mark.
Prince is the man on board, but what we say from west of Europe is this is a very crucial time for Nigerians, and we want to see our country really come up the ladder. Nigeria is too dynamic to be on the pit. So the coming election should be our time to show that eagerness to change everything about us by picking the right candidate. We don't tell people who to vote for, but every man to his own conscience, and every man have studied each of the candidates, and we say vote wisely, vote your conscience, vote wisely, and have the future of Nigeria in mind. Thank you.
Over to you, Prince.
All right. It's very, you already know what I will say. If you don't vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu, don't cry tomorrow. It's a one way for us, for Nigerians, for people that love Nigeria, honestly, not those disobedience we are talking about. You must be ready to bring out your voter's card and go to the ballot. There is a reason why APC is #1 on the ballot paper. It is divinely implanted, so you cannot make mistakes. Go there, APC is #1 there, go there and thumbprint properly for APC. Vote APC all the way so that we can have our president in a very robust environment and not a hostile environment. Thank you very much. God bless Nigerians.
Thank you so much. So this has been NIDO Russia Talks, NIDO for Nigerians in Diaspora Organization Russia. And we hold these talks weekly, bringing you the latest from a socioeconomic, geopolitical perspective on matters that are important to Nigerians, both about Nigeria and on global issues. If you're Nigerian watching this, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, share with your friends, so the algorithm knows that we are bringing you relevant content and doing a good job. And also those Nigerians based in Russia, feel free to contact us. You have our website, our number. Register, join us, as we are here to make sure you continue to experience development socioeconomically, and you make the best of your situation, because we know when you solve your problems, you're able to contribute to yourself and then to your family, you'll be best placed to contribute to your community. We have so many programs and projects for our members, which they are using on a daily basis. And even as from this program, we'll have another issue to deal with, which are for our members. So subscribe, like, share, and then look forward to seeing you in the next episode, which will be same time next week, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, 10 p.m. Moscow time. So with that, I'd like to say goodbye and see you in the next one.